All right. So, ELO guesser, if this is brand new to you, the idea here is that we have a rated blitz game that was played on chess.com, and the ELO difference, so the rating difference between the two players, is at most 200 rating points. Okay? So, I don't know who the players are. I don't know anything about them. We're going to play through the position, take a look at this and see, can we figure out what the rating of this player was, or these two players? What was the average rating of this game? So let's take a look here. We have e4, e5, knight. Okay, so this is approaching a King's Gambit type game. And, all right, so let's pause that for a second. So my first instinct, king's, like this position right here, doesn't come up a ton from what I know in super low level chess. So seeing something like this makes me think it's like 1600 right here. And then right here, do you see how this bishop didn't know where it wanted to go? This bishop didn't really have an idea of where it wanted to be. So my thought process when I look at this and going, okay, what level player am I looking at right here? So it's somebody who studied some openings. I know I want to try and get this type of position. Here we go. I'm going to try and get a position here. That tells me they're at least like 1400. They have an idea. They've done some study, maybe 1200, 1400, somewhere in there. That's when really studying openings is going to start to pay off. But the fact that we're on move 5, 6, and we're already moving the bishop twice, we've kind of gone backwards. They've lost a tempo. That tells me that this is probably not an 18, 19, 2000. It's definitely not a master game, at least in my perspective. This doesn't strike me as what a master game would look like. And then this move right there is completely lowering the rating for me when I think about what this rating is. Because they moved that bishop 2 times and then traded it for a knight that was moved once to get oh, I checked. There's no points for checking. So my thought, this is probably a 1200. So we'll finish looking at the game, see if there's anything that convinces me otherwise. My thoughts right now, this is a 1200 game. They have an idea of the opening they wanted to play. Moves, like where's that rook going? I mean, it's threatening the corner, but what's the idea here? There's a check. That was just a lost piece, right? Yeah, so that was a sacrifice. So I don't even know that we call it a sacrifice. That's a blunder. Yeah, I'm thinking 1200. Here, we'll put the guess in. Preload the guess, 1200. Let's see. See if anything convinces me otherwise. I don't know. So white. Yeah, I think 1200, maybe even a little lower. I mean, maybe 1150. And this white is just dominating this position and doesn't seem to know what to do to how to finish this game. Here we go. Let's see what the final position looks like. See what the checkmate looks like. There's check. Taking away some squares. Yeah, this is not high level chess. There's a check. Okay, so there's checkmate. I'm gonna hedge my bet a little bit. I'm gonna leave it at 1200. Let's see, 1200. Was I right? 1680. So I was way off. 1680. So again, I was right at the beginning. I'm surprised that that's as high as it was. Like I said, I told you why I thought so. We could check out the game, but that doesn't seem like the point right now. All right, let's try another one of these, see if I can get a little better. My best score right now is a 2653. So I'm going to write that down, 2653, and see if I can beat that score on this next one. 2653. Okay, new game. Let's take a look at this one, see what we're looking at. Interesting. So this might just be an offbeat opening. Doesn't really tell us a whole lot, or it could just be bad chess. I don't know. Okay, so we're in a Queen's Gambit declined kind of setup. That queen's moving around a lot, but that's not telling us a whole lot. Pieces are moving. They're getting developed. So take a look at this, guys. We're on move 12. Move 12, and white's already castled. Black is ready to castle. This is solid chess. Okay? All of the pieces are off the back rank. The rooks are connected on move 12. This is solid chess. Whether this is all a book opening, I don't know. I'm not an opening expert. I won't pretend to be one. This looks like this is probably, I'm going to say 2200 right now. I haven't seen anything absolutely through the roof amazing, but maybe it's coming. But this is definitely some solid chess. They're looking at these positions. Again, you'll see, I think, high-level chess, you're going to see a lot more of pawn pushes and strategic moving than fast exchanges. So because we just saw all of those exchanges pretty quickly, like these, we're continuing to see these exchanges that are happening. My guess is that this might actually be a 2000. I'm just lowering it a little bit as we think about what that does. Endgame, they're heading towards trying to. So, talked about endgames before. The idea here is that a passed pawn is really, really important. The whole game right now is hinging on this pawn right here that is sitting there on b5. If white can promote that pawn, black is going to have to sacrifice to stop it from being a queen. And if white loses that pawn, it's probably going to be a draw. So, very, very important pawn right there. All right, let's keep going. So, pawns exchanged. Pieces are being exchanged off. So this, black is up a pawn. Let's take a look, see what. So I think this should probably be a draw with best play, but humans are humans, and we don't play the best moves all the time. Yeah, so I think, well, we can see that black ends up winning this, but let's see what the technique is. So white is still trying to fight over on the side. White gets that passed pawn, but it's not fast enough. And it looks like the knight is on the white side is just not going to be used quite well enough. Loses the pawn over there. Yep. And so, oh, this must have been a loss on time. That should have been a draw. So this should have been a draw. White can sacrifice for the black pawn, because that pawn can never get to the other side of the board. So the white king should have just marched down here, protected the knight. The knight is going to take the pawn if it ever promotes. The king is just going to sit here and idle, protecting the knight. Yeah, this should have been a draw. I think this was lost on time because black ended up winning. I'm going to say that this is a 1950 game. I liked the opening. I thought the end game was probably misplayed a little bit. Let's call it 1850. Okay, 1850, and see what we think about that. Click submit. Oh, wow, 2260. All right, so that was my original guess. Right out of the opening, I agreed. I said I thought it was 2200, 2000, somewhere in that range. I dropped it because I kept thinking that all of those exchanges seemed weird to me. But my score is improving. That was a 3,194. So that's better than my 2653. So far that was my best outing yet. Let's take a look at another one here. So let's look at the position. E4, told you that comes up a lot, going for Sicilian defense. Here we go, exchange Sicilian. All of this looks pretty mainline. I think this is okay. Again, I'm not a huge opening expert, but everything here looks pretty normal. Pieces are getting developed. White's exchanging. So at this point, we saw a Sicilian. We saw very normal moves for the first few. So I think we're at least at a 1600, if not higher. So my gut instinct right now is 1600. Let's keep going and see. All right, so no, I don't see anything weird yet. I mean, it's just everything's kind of getting developed. White's spending a lot of moves to trade pieces, but black is stuck in the center of the board. So white is definitely the aggressor here. Black is just playing really, really passively. And defensively, it doesn't look like there's a real plan on what black was trying to do. Yeah, and so black won here. This is a win for black. Is this another game that time decided? I mean, white played this pretty well, I think, even though they lost. I think because black played this, I'm going to go ahead and up this a little bit. Let's call it a 1700. I think this is a 1700 game. If you think I'm wrong, if you think you've got a different guess, you can go ahead and type that guess in now. See if you're better than me. Commit to it, and then let's see if you're better than me at this. Let's go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click submit in 3, 2, 1. 19. 2276. Wow. So I was way off. So 1909 was my score on that one. 2276. So much better play. Like I said, the Sicilian I thought was played pretty well. But I just thought the black played passively. Honestly, I don't think white's game was too bad. I think black's game was what made me think it was lower rated than 2200. Wow. All right, let's try another one. Still trying to beat a score of 3,194. So let's come in here. So D4, very common opening here. Here we go. Control the center. Here's your King's Indian defense set up. Exchanging. More exchanging. All of these exchanges make me think that this is lower. King lost its right to castle. White won the rook in the opening here. I think this is pretty low level chess. The opening was played pretty well, so I think we're not in the hundreds. I think we're definitely at least at 1,000 or so. So let's see how they finish this off. Here's this end game. Putting your rooks on the 7th rank is a decent idea. So doubling your rooks. Here's that checkmate. All right, so here's one of those checkmate patterns that you've got to know. We're going to see it right now. You've got this idea that you have your 2 rooks here. The second rook is going to drop back and give checkmate. One of the must-know patterns for any chess player is that staircase ladder mate. Check out a previous video if you're interested. But absolutely got to know that one. So, what do I think this is? I'm thinking this is probably Let's see. They played a decent King's Indian. Black lost the exchange out of the opening. I think this is 1200. If you think different, go ahead and tell me why you think think differently. But I think it was a 1200 game just based on that kind of how much black fell apart. You know, that King's Indian was decent for the first few moves, and I keep guessing poorly, and I under-guess quite a lot. Let's call it 1350. Just because I keep under-guessing. I'm gonna hedge a little bit and go a little higher than I normally would have. Wow. I guessed terrible. That was a 2281. That is incredible. 2281. My score was 59. I have completely fallen apart. I thought that was very basic looking chess. I guess I just don't have a clue on guessing. All right, let's try one more. I want to try and beat my 3194. Can we beat 3194? Let's take a look. This is a mini game. It's only got 23 moves. Let's see what it looks like. E4, E5, knights. Here we go. Scotch game. Exchanging off in the center. Okay, white's got an advantage in the position. All of this looks mainline book. Here we go. Very standard looking moves. These look good. This all looks book. Interesting. White is not afraid to attack. This, I think this might be high level chess. All of this looks very solid. I'm guessing this is pretty close to theory to someone. Attacking, not capturing with the pawn and closing the attack, continuing that attack, discovered attacks. This is a good game of chess. That was a mini game. My guess is this is probably 2450. I know we can go up to 3000. I can't imagine there's many games in the system at that level. My guess is this was a grandmaster game, or almost. Let's see. Can you guess? Are you going to be right? Let me know if you think you were right. Click. Wow. 864. I got a 0. Not even close. 864 played a solid Scotch game. Well, I guess that's the difference when you look at grandmaster games versus beginner games. Is if you don't understand the moves, they both look amazing. But this was a really solid game from an 864. I think I'm going to call it a day. So if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends what I do. I'm going to try and continue streaming here. So if you want to see me do more of this, if you want to see me play more games, go ahead and let me know what you like, and I'll try and do it. Just a chess dad trying to get better at the game, enjoying what I do. So if you enjoyed it too, let me know, and I'll see you soon.